Hi everyone, it's Pete here from the Pain Toolkit, and here in sunny Essex. I'm just looking out the window again. I did a broadcast yesterday afternoon. The sun was out. It's not so strong today, but at least the sun's out, which cheers me up. And so I'm doing another Pain Toolkit TV broadcast with Richmond, Stace, who's a physiotherapist. Good morning to you, Rich.
Morning, Pete. How you doing?
I'm doing all the better for you asking me, actually. When the sun is out, it means I've got plenty of bike riding time, so I'll take the cover off the Harley later on, and I think I'm going to go up to Great Bentley tonight. There's a big bike meet up there on a Wednesday evening, so I'm going to go up there and have a look at all the other bikes. Anyway, we're going up already. This is a bit of a short, sharp one today, and I think we've got three subjects to cover. So let's go straight into them. So listen, this hot weather, I don't know about you, but weather seems to affect a lot of people with pain. Where if it's cold, the joints tend to stiffen. But I've also heard people say that the heat can affect them as well. So have you got any couple of tips that you can share with the viewers on how to self-manage their pain in this hot weather we're having at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first thing to say is probably that no matter how good it is right now, it's going to change, and actually it can be the change that's often a problem. Our bodies adapt to the environment, and we've got some very good systems to do that. There are certain types of receptor in the nervous system that detect temperature change, and so when that information is relayed to the brain has to make an assumption about what that might mean. And if you're already in a protect state or a survive state, which includes being in pain, then it may well be that you feel greater sensitivity. There's a bunch of other reasons as well. So, for example, how hot you feel you are in your clothes, and how they might be rubbing on your skin if you have a certain type of sensitivity. You've got to think about hydration levels and what you're eating. You've got to cover the basics. In other words, as we've spoken before about pain being a need state, it's there for us. It's there to motivate us and compel us to take action. The same as thirst or hunger and other need states that we feel. So in that way, you want to make sure that you're covering the basics. And clearly, getting out in the sun can be a healthy thing to do. We get the effects of vitamin D. It just makes us feel good often. But just dose it up. Just make sure that you're covered up well, and just be out there for a period of time. Set that in stone, and then when you've had that time, then come in and get some shade, get some hydration, and so on and so forth.
So your three top tips are
keep hydrated.
Yeah.
Know what you can control and what you can't control, and really focus on what you can control, i.e. the actions that you take, and know that it's not permanent.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so they'll be useful for anybody watching now. If you're, I know a lot of people, they say the heat can affect them. Thanks very much for that, Rich. So let's go on to the next question. I think we've brushed on it slightly before, where you talked about the biomedical model, and also the other one I'm familiar with is the Biopsychosocial model. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Can you, remember, keep it nice and simple for me. Remember, I've never been to medical school.
Yeah, nor have I.
I'm not wearing a stethoscope around my neck. I'm not wearing a white coat. But can you, in a simplistic way, explain what both of those cycles are? So the biomedical model.
Yeah, biomedical, and biopsychosocial.
Biopsychosocial. So in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the biomedical model is really a search for something in the body that will explain what someone's experiencing, what they're feeling. And so there's a real importance of that model because of diagnostics and diagnosing any kind of condition, which would then open up the opportunities or possibilities for treatment. But it very much relies on finding something. And of course, the relationship between pain and what you see in the body, or the relationship between pain and tissue state is very poor. So classic examples of that are phantom limb pain, or if you think about how painful a paper cut can be, or if you happen to be hanging out in A&E and you'll see the way that people report pain is vastly varied compared to the extent of injury that they experience. with a reliance on thinking that there is a relationship. That's what leads people down the wrong path, because they think that they shouldn't move, they shouldn't use their body, because if it hurts, they're doing more damage, etc., etc. So once that's been cleared, once you know there is no serious pathology or nothing that needs any kind of medical or surgical intervention, then really you need a bridge between that model and the biopsychosocial, because that's about the person. It's about the person experiencing pain as an embodied experience, but also embedded within their life. So the multitude of influences on pain. And as we've said before, the more you focus on the bit that hurts and try and treat it, and focus on it, generally the worse the outcome. If you focus on the person and helping them to live their best life and give them tools and skills and strategies to get results with that, then the outcomes are much, much better. There's no two ways about it. You overcome pain by living life, not by waiting for something to happen.
So it's a little bit like, when you get a cold, you sense, oh, I feel terrible, and then you seem to tune into it, and it's more, the more you tune into it, the more it seems, the symptoms seem to increase. Is that right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no. What we focus on governs how we feel. So, another example would be tiredness. If you feel tired and continually tell yourself you're tired, so that story going on and on and on, you just feel worse and worse and worse. However, what you really need is energy. So if you focus on energy, you focus on what you want, then it'll become apparent what you need to do to build your energy. And the same with the focus with pain. When I ask people, well, what do you want? They'll first of all, they may answer by saying, well, I don't want this pain. And I'll say, well, that's what you don't want. Tell me what you want. Because if you can clarify what you want in your life, well, then you can start taking the steps to get there. But if you're continually focusing on pain, or you get stuck in the story of the pain, then you just suffer. And that's what a lot of people get stuck on, because they're kind of caught in that biomedical model where they're searching for some kind of structural explanation for their pain, but there isn't one. There never has been one. That's not the way that we work.
Rich, I fell in that same trap actually a couple of years ago when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. For some reason, I don't know, I put it on Facebook that I've been diagnosed with it, and everybody, I don't know, just as soon as I put it on there, I was getting lots of, well, yeah, my mate had this and da 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 da. But then people kept constantly saying, how are you? How is your, is it got any? And it's like, to me, it's not that I'm ignoring it or in denial of it. I know I've got it and I've got to learn to live with it and whatnot. But in a way, it was like, it wasn't, I need to get on, move on. Yeah, I've got prostate cancer. I'm having the hormone injections, etc. And I'm doing my healthy eating. I'm doing my exercises and whatnot. But I think people I call it digging up the skeletons, and to me it's about, I know about it, but don't keep reminding me about it, sort of thing,
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's it. You make a choice. You make a choice of how you're going to approach your life. What's your lifestyle? How are you going to do it? Yeah. It's a bit like the Cadbury's cream egg. How do you eat yours? You choose to go about life and living it in. You choose to go about living a life with a particular purpose. You follow a purpose. There's meaning, and then health and wellness come from that. Absolutely. So are you literally fortifying your immune system, your nervous system, all your body systems by living and being active and using your body and eating well and getting sleep and dealing with stressors as they arise? Absolutely. That's a choice. And you and many others have made that choice, and that's why you can turn around and say, yeah, I enjoy life, and we can always step up and we can take it to the next level and the next level and the next level.
That's why I don't bother posting anything about it now. Everything seems to calm down.
Okay, it's a classic kind of example of how, out there as society, the messages, people mean well, but there's so much conditioning to look on the gloomy side of it and to focus on the problem, rather than actually saying, well, actually, how can I live in the best possible way here? And there's always better ways of living, and we can always, as I say, take it to the next level. It's conditioning, it's practice, it's about getting results and wins day to day.
I mean, sometimes people, they say, how are you today? And then what I do is I check your pulse. I say, yeah, I'm okay. I'm still there.
Yeah.
Hey, but just move on to the last one. I was when I was in Sydney the other week, the Australians were telling me there's 1 in 5 people in Australia living with persistent pain. We know that in the UK there's 28 million people say that they're living with pain. 8 million of those are living with a lot of severe pain. And I was starting to think, when I was down the gym this morning, I'm thinking to myself, when I'm on the hamster wheel down the gym, I do think a bit. And I was thinking, at the end of the day, there isn't enough of you guys, the healthcare professionals, to deal with all of us. And I was thinking of what support groups are out there, what are, good ones. And I was thinking about someone told me years ago about the 12-step programs, like Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Shoppers Anonymous, and all the other anonymous groups. And what it is, they have like a self-management program. They call it the 12 steps, and they support each other. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I looked it up actually, and there is actually a Chronic Pain Anonymous. It started in it's run an organisation in the US, the United States. And I was thinking to myself, and I put it on the new Pain Toolkit closed group page, and I'll put a poll there. Would peer-led support groups be useful? Yes, no, indifferent, or whatnot. Surprising, there's some feedback already that we've had that there's still people still think that there needs to be a combination of support from the healthcare professional. But my question really was, the problem is there aren't enough of you. There isn't what I call a terracotta army of healthcare professionals who can see us in a group or even one-to-one night. So, what's your take on it? Do you think there could be a useful leverage there, where a network of support groups online or face-to-face could be set up, similar along the lines of a 12-step program? Looks like we got a bit of a freeze there on Rich. He's frozen out. I'll keep on talking. I don't know if you're still there, Rich. Your picture's frozen.
Oh, hello.
I said, unfreeze yourself.
Hi, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We're back again.
Did you hear me? Did you hear my question?
Yeah. Look, I think that. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So I think that there could be a role for peer-to-peer. I think there needs to be some guidelines, and there needs to be a focus, and there needs to be a really strong purpose of what it's all about. What you don't want, of course, is people getting together and just focusing on the doom and gloom. Now, I'm not being unsympathetic when I say that. I'm saying that ultimately, I don't want people to suffer. I see people suffering every day, and my job and role is to give them ways of getting out of that, so that they don't suffer. I love it when I see people come in and they're living their life and enjoying themselves, because when you're filling your time with that, then life can be great. Yeah. But when people first come in, they don't ever believe, because they're so stuck in the story of their pain and suffering. They don't ever believe they can live a great life. And then I say, well, you can, and these are the ways that we can do it. But actually, they've got to go and do it in their own world for that to make sense. So you'd want to make sure that any group is very supportive of that kind of approach. And getting people, working together to focus on what they can do to head in that right direction. So if you with the Alcoholics Anonymous and others, you have some clear steps that can be followed. So that could be designed with ease, really, and then implemented. You need a little bit of training and whatnot to make sure that whoever's delivering it can manage a group and to get the best out of people. So coaching, as you know, I'm a big fan of coaching, and that's really what I do with the physiotherapy. But you need to be.
Oh my God, you're frozen up again. Are you back with us? Are you back there, Rich? Are you back with us? It looks like we've got a problem there, technical problem there with the broadcast. So what I'll do now is, I think Rich pretty much covered that regarding the peer-to-peer support group. So what I'll do, I'll say thanks very much, Rich, for being on the Pain Toolkit TV broadcast today. And I'll be posting this video online later on today. Take care, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye.